Hi.
You may notice that you're staring at this beautiful screen.
Oh God.
I'm Jess.
I'm Jeb.
And welcome to Insert Podcast here.
Yeah, I hope you appreciate the beautiful channel art I did in 15 seconds before we started.
15 seconds my butt. You literally did this in like 5 minutes.
I did it in 15 seconds and then I started adding a bunch of extra
Yeah.
stuff that was unnecessary. Shout out to Microsoft Paint.
So original. It's how everyone made their album art.
The original.
People need to make their new album art.
What is this?
Using.
This is gross.
So everyone should use Paint now to make their cover art for SoundCloud.
Yeah.
Speaking of SoundCloud, we're going to be talking about sounds.
That come from your body.
They come from your body.
That sounds nice though, not bad ones.
Like your mouth specifically.
Yeah, but not the sound that comes out when you die.
Okay.
Singing. We're talking about singing. And,
yeah, we're talking about music. Music in general.
Yeah.
So the thought occurred to us to talk about music because we were listening to Hilary Duff.
We're listening to Hilary Duff.
If y'all don't remember this queen, literally, where the fuck have you been?
They might not be born yet. Or ever.
Who cannot remember So Yesterday or Wake Up on a Saturday
Yes.
or the Lizzie McGuire movie.
Yeah, the
This
whole
is what
movie.
dreams
The song, the
we
Lizzie
have.
McGuire movie.
Yeah.
Sorry, I got distracted.
It's like really hot where we are.
It's super.
So sorry.
What?
Anyway, so about music.
About music. So, like, music was really good. The best.
I think so Joseph and I were born in the 90s.
Yeah, we were.
But, like,
oh my
I
God,
think
we're so random.
we're
and
so
quirky.
quirky and random.
When you're 90s kids.
When you're not, we're
Ew,
not. I
hate
would not
this.
classify us as a 90s kid.
We're not 90s kids.
We're
We're
like
technically
2000s.
millennials. No,
Yeah,
we're technically Generation Z.
Well, yeah, we're like on the precipice of like ending millennialism
Mm-hmm.
and Gen Z. So like we're in the middle because we have aspects. We remember things from the 90s, but we also remember things from the 2000s.
Yeah.
But yeah. So we're born in 90s.
Yeah, we were born
Evan.
in 90s Evan.
In 90s Evan.
In 90s Evan Hansen. Dear 90s Evan Hansen.
Dear 90s Evan Hansen.
But so we got to experience a lot of different kinds of music growing up because we were right at the cusp of transitioning from the 90s music into the 2000s music.
Yeah, so like
what we heard
from the Backstreet Boys to like Britney Spears.
Yeah, what we heard like
Also,
as very young
yeah.
children is different from what we heard as children in elementary school and what we listened to. What we
like
decided
also
to.
our parents are very much like both of our parents were very much into oldies, so
Yeah.
we listened to 92.3, which is like the oldie station.
Yeah,
KSK.
here in Hawaii.
Yeah. So they played literally. Now they play like Ed Sheeran and shit, which is whatever. But
Yeah,
they used to play like the
their
Bee Gees.
slogan is the best hits of yesterday, today, and
today.
today. I don't know what the other
The best
part is.
hits of yesterday, today, and today. That's literally it.
It is?
Yes.
Yeah, it's not tomorrow.
Nope.
Because how would you have the best hits of tomorrow? What kind of That's So Raven time traveling garbage is that?
What do you mean garbage? That's where everyone's great. Anyway.
Yeah, wait, I'm getting off track.
Yeah.
So, music. It was great. Like, some music from the 90s or before that I like. I actually don't know a whole lot of 90s music. I like
TLC.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
like
and
Waterfalls.
or like No Doubt. No Doubt probably is like early 2000s.
That's more early 2000s,
Yeah.
I feel.
Like I said, because we were born in the late 90s, we only can reference music from when we were conscious enough to remember it, which is like when
That's
we were,
true.
So yeah.
Most of my musical references come from my parents, which is like Heart and Kiss and Journey and Eagles
And the Beatles.
and Beatles, Elton John.
John Lennon, which is also part of the Beatles, but he turned into a solo act.
Yeah, Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons.
Freddie Mercury, who died of AIDS.
Rest in peace, Freddie Mercury. You will be missed. Prince, who also died but not of AIDS.
Just died. Michael Jackson, who also died, but just died.
But not of AIDS.
That's
again.
a morbid thing to say, I'm sorry. But
Yeah. All icons of the music
really
generation.
though,
What do they have in common?
they're all icons.
Yeah, that's it.
Honestly, now, like, looking at music today, who would you consider an icon? I think people would consider Beyonce an icon, Mariah Carey an icon.
I consider icons people will look back and remember as defining our generation.
Our generation,
music.
yeah. Definitely Beyonce, I feel.
Beyonce is a huge one, I think. I think it's
can't think of
interesting
many.
because we don't have many rappers that would define our generation, I feel.
I
Like,
think Eminem, a lot of people like to reference Eminem as being like a really good rapper, and I don't disagree.
Well, the thing is like, I feel like everyone knows who Beyonce is, right? Like, even if you don't like Beyonce,
like
you
even
know
if
who
you're
she
like
is.
in Korea, you know who Beyonce is. Everyone knows the song Halo, like,
And,
definitely.
But I feel like we don't have anybody who's on that level in rap. Maybe I'm wrong and just forgetting somebody, but like, we don't have any Tupac Shakur's or Biggie Smalls's.
Yeah, but
or
like
P Diddy's or anything like that.
to be completely honest, I don't listen to rap, so I wouldn't know. Like that's not my area of
I
expertise.
guess like, I don't know. There are like, cause there's icons within the rap industry. There's just, I feel like, I don't know. I guess there might be people.
just people who I wouldn't necessarily consider to define our generation.
I definitely think there has to be some. I just am drawing a blank right now. In terms of pop, it's definitely Beyonce, probably Lady Gaga, because she kind of shifted the whole
I feel like Lady Gaga could potentially be one.
thing of music. Do we have any rock? Our generation isn't super big on rock.
I mean, I love rock. I
do
like
too.
alternative rock.
But
That's
I
my
mean,
thing.
we don't have any like rock stars. That's very 80s.
Yeah, right?
Mm-hmm.
By the way, guys, sorry if you hear this fan. It's like literally 80 something degrees, and that may not sound hot, but humidity in Hawaii is stupid.
Yeah, it says it feels like 91, but that's
A lie.
yeah.
I think rock music, like, okay, these are like my favorite, like, I can't even name any rock bands right now. Let's Google some.
I feel like rock is very interesting.
Okay, so all of like the defining rock bands, as you guys can see, is from the oldies. Oh, I guess Pink Floyd. Yeah, Pink Floyd is like recent. You know, they're like
Pink
here.
Floyd isn't that recent.
Yeah,
Pink
but
Floyd
I mean,
ended recently.
yeah.
But
So
we
they were
don't-
still like, you know.
Yeah, but they don't have like, their music wasn't super popular in our generation. Coldplay, does that count as rock? Is Coldplay rock? I thought they were
No,
pop.
I don't think rock. I don't think that. So like, okay, Imagine Dragons is apparently considered rock, and like,
I don't know. I would consider them alternative.
yeah, are alt rock, but like, they're pretty good. Oh, 21 Pilots, don't consider them rock at all.
Interesting. It's interesting when you look back to bands like Kiss and Rolling Stones and stuff who were rock
Like,
bands.
you know that they were rock.
Yeah, it's
And
interesting.
now it's like, there's so many different types of genre of music, and you're just like, I don't know what to categorize this as. So maybe
Yeah.
that's why it's harder to have defining people in our generation, because it's like everybody's something different.
Yeah, I guess so. There's people people have been dipping into different genres of music. than
Ariana
what they're
Grande's been dipping
normal.
into like electronic kind of stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I guess so.
or, like-
She's been heading more towards dance music lately, I
I
feel.
don't like it, in my opinion. I'm not a big fan of it.
I'm kind of here for it. I like it. Demi Lovato is in rehab.
Oh my gosh.
That's a pretty rocker thing to do.
Oh my god. You know it.
It is.
Selena Gomez has been dipping into dubstep.
Selena Gomez found her place with electronic and dance music
She
because
has.
she has the very like voice for that.
Like her, y'all can hate on me, but her naturally stage in, like when she's in Disney, that was bad.
Naturally stage.
Everything comes
Yeah.
naturally.
I had that song.
I didn't like that song.
I liked it.
Not a big fan. Who else is changing?
I don't know. I feel like we have a lot of Disney stars from our generation, like TV stars who became
Yeah.
big in the music industry. Ariana Grande is one of them. She started out in TV.
Mhm.
Demi Lovato, Selena Gomez, Miley Cyrus, all of them were in TV before they started in music.
I don't even know if Miley Cyrus is still making music.
I think she is. Probably. I don't know.
I think she's getting married to what's his face, the Hemsworth dude.
Liam Hemsworth?
Is it Liam?
Yeah.
What's his brother's name?
Chris.
Yeah, there we go.
Thor.
Thor. We were supposed to talk about music and movies.
Well, music and movies, excuse my use of fillers, but music and movies is primarily soundtrack based, which is something that I appreciate a lot
I do too.
because soundtrack can set up an atmosphere very well. And so it's interesting to see how music kind of affects everybody daily.
What I've noticed is that a lot of music that I hear in movies are like very like. Okay, well, sorry about that.
Sorry. It's okay, I'll cut it out.
So music in movies that I've heard right now, is like really indie sounding music.
Oh, you mean
like so indie sounding.
You mean songs that people get the rights to use in movies?
Yeah, like just like you said, like filler music, like music that will play in the background.
Like
Yeah.
Sweet Disposition from
Like
Temper
Sweet-
Trap
yep.
and 500
That
Days of
played-
Summer.
Yeah, that song played literally 10 minutes. So they played it once, and then 10 minutes later they played it again, and I was like so confused.
Hey, music rights is expensive.
Yeah, but like that's so bad.
Oh, let's talk about music and movies. We can't not talk about musicals.
Musicals. I love musicals.
What about Disney Channel musicals? Like High School Musical?
That okay.
I feel like that's pretty defining of our generation.
Oh yeah, definitely.
High
That
School
that movie.
Musical?
Okay, honestly, fucking sorry.
It's really hot. I'm sorry. I can't close the window.
So, music and like so High School Musical came out in like 2000. Bless you.
Thank you.
I think High School Musical came out in 2006, but let me like double check.
High School Musical?
Yeah, I think it came out in 2006.
No, I feel like it came out earlier than that.
January 20th, 2006.
Whoa.
So, when I first saw the previews for this, when I was like fucking tiny,
When you were super tiny?
when I was super tiny, I was like, this is gonna be so bad. Like, oh my god, this is not cool. And then I watched it and I loved it.
Because, I don't know, I was a little of the opposite. I kind of was excited for it because I was very young and my sister is 3 years older than me and she was really into it. And so
Damn it.
I was really into it because my sister was really into it. And then when it happened, I don't know, I didn't care for it a whole lot.
So these are like pictures from musicals, like actual. Oh my god.
Stop hating on other people.
I'm not hating on them. I think it's really cute. Oh my god, this is super cute. Look at how.
High School
Oh, this is
Musical
3.
3.
Damn, they're old.
They weren't that old.
They were like 25 when they filmed that.
What about Lucas
Just kidding.
Gabriel? Wait, no, let's get back on
What are you
track.
talking about? Lucas Gabriel right here?
Music. Musicals are very interesting because I feel like it's still very much a marginalized thing where musicals are not for everybody.
No, yeah, definitely not. A lot of people don't like musicals because...
Yeah, but I feel like High School Musical kind of partially broke through that barrier.
Yeah.
Because it established a groundwork
So,
of
like-
musicals that aren't, like,
Yeah. So,
I don't know how
actually,
to describe it.
what I consider a musical is, like... It's not just a movie with music in it, like people singing. Like that, yeah, that's a musical, but a real musical is like Les Mis, where they're singing literally everything. Like, everything
Yeah.
that they're doing. That is like a musical. This is like a... It's a musical. It's just... The songs, like, it's like The Greatest Showman.
The story is not displayed through music.
It's like the songs could literally be its own album without the movie attached to it, and it would make sense.
Yeah.
Number 2, High School Musical number 2 is a little bit different because the songs actually kind of relate to what's going on.
Yeah, but the songs fit the situation. The songs do not describe the situation.
Yeah.
Like Fabulous.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That one is, it's like a song that's made for that situation.
What about
but
like Humu Humu Nuku Nuku Apua'a?
don't you ever talk about that song. It's so weird. That song, why? Why would they write that? If you don't know what song that is...
that's why it was a deleted scene.
If you don't know what song that is, there's a deleted scene from High School Musical 2 of Ashley Tisdale, Sharpay, and Ryan Evans basically kidnapping Troy and forcing him to watch
Sharpay and Evan. Ryan Evans.
Like, she did a
perform.
one-woman show of...
No, Ryan was in it.
Oh, a 2-person show of Princess Tiki, a Hawaiian princess goddess.
A blonde Hawaiian princess goddess.
Yeah, and she sings Humu Humu Nuku Nuku Apua'a Hele Hele Makahiki Ho. Or something.
It's like Humu Humu Nuku Nuku Apua'a Makahiki Makahiki Hu or something like that. Like fucking racist shit.
It's not... It was a different time.
That was like a lot and I hated it.
It was a different
so
time and it was a lot for that time.
Oh, yeah. early 2000, like mid 2000s, and we're over here like, what the hell is this?
It was really weird.
But anyway, so
it differs definitely from music today. I feel like music today wouldn't be able to get away with any of that.
yeah, no, it definitely, if that song came out today, everyone would be bashing on it so hard to be like, culture appropriation, that's racist, that's like everything. And
It also, it's interesting to see how music is able to be spread through the spread of other social media, because SoundCloud is a huge thing. A bunch of people started on SoundCloud
Yeah.
and they're very big now. And that SoundCloud is primarily promoted through social media, and SoundCloud in a way is its own form of social media.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think a lot of SoundCloud artists, so it's like a hit or miss, honestly. You either found someone really, really good or really, really bad.
Yeah.
I personally don't listen to SoundCloud as much as other people might, but I do appreciate a lot of artists that have come from them.
Yeah, I mean, if you are passionate and interested in something, why not just go for it?
Yeah, just do it. Just Nike, just do it.
Yeah, you might as well try, because if you don't try, then who's to say that you would have ever succeeded?
Anyway,
You
so
might have.
back to musicals. Oh my god, what the hell is this picture? What is that?
It says High School Musical cast then and now.
Is that really what Kelsey looks like now?
Yeah.
She looks like Scarlet Witch.
Elizabeth Olsen? That is
Yeah.
Elizabeth Olsen.
No, it's not.
I know.
Oh my god, this picture's so iconic.
You're the first one, right?
That was so funny. Okay, anyway, back on track.
Close this tab. What are you doing?
I'm looking at things. Oh my god. Oh my god, guys, we're so quirky and random.
Stop. It's embarrassing. I'm
not
embarrassed that I say that so much, ironically.
Are you sure it's ironic?
It's ironic. I say it ironically. I haven't reached that point of, I don't know what the word would be, that point of transitioning
Into not being ironic
yeah,
anymore?
between irony and seriousness.
Okay. Back to musicals.
What are some modern day musicals that aren't taking place on Broadway? Because Broadway is a very niche subject.
Like off-Broadway? Or
No,
like
I
just
mean
in
musicals
general?
that reach a lot of people. Like The Greatest Showman would be considered.
They're coming out with a live-action
a
version of
musical.
Mary Poppins.
And Mulan.
And yeah,
Mulan
but
is a
that's
musical.
Not, it's not going to be a
It
musical.
is. They announced that it's actually going to have music in it, like
What the
singing.
hell?
Yeah.
Okay, I have like a lot of like issues with the new Mulan thing.
That's a topic for a
That's
different
another
time.
topic, but I'm just saying I have a lot of issues with it.
It is very confusing. It's polarizing.
Yeah. But I'm really excited for the new Mary Poppins.
I'm less excited.
I'm like, okay, so Mary Poppins was not my favorite movie growing up as a child. Like, I hardly watched it because it was like, wow.
Is this movie called Mary Poppins also, or does it
It's
have
like
a
the
subtitle?
return of Mary Poppins or something. It's like,
Okay.
it's something like that. Like, it's not the original story, I'm pretty sure.
Here's
but I
like,
don't know.
no, it's not. Here's a brief tangent on movies. I've noticed that a lot of movies nowadays are coming out with sequels to original movies that have came out a
Yeah.
very long time ago,
They're trying to make money.
which is interesting, and I'm interested to see how it goes, because I don't know. I just think it's going to be interesting to see how people release movies that are catering to a completely different generation from the
Yeah.
initial one.
Because then, you know, imagine like a little like 5-year-old. They watch Mary Poppins and they love it, and then you show them the original one. Like, actually, this is based off of this movie, and then they hate it.
They might.
Like,
I feel
it's-
like
It's a lot.
movies now are a lot more dynamic in terms of visuals, but less dynamic in terms of stories. They're very linear in terms of story,
Mm-hmm.
but very dynamic with visuals, like CGI or effects. And they're very colorful, and they pop. And,
Yes. Yeah.
which is good, but I don't know. Never mind. I'm going on a tangent about movies. That's not what this is about.
Yeah.
We're talking about music. So Mary Poppins is coming out. It's going to be a musical.
That's one. I don't know about very many others.
Greatest Showman just came out, and it was
Bad.
a huge hit.
Okay, it's a
apparently.
huge hit, but I didn't like it. The music is alright. I don't hate it. I don't hate the music.
Well, that's another example of how you said earlier, the music isn't telling the
Definitely
story.
does not need to be along with the movie.
It's a bunch of pop songs that were written for the movie that can be bought and played outside of the movie with no
Yeah.
context. Which is not necessarily a bad thing. It's just a musical, a Broadway musical, if you're using that as your basis,
Mhm.
is told through the music.
Yes.
And there's a lot of different styles of music,
Mhm.
whereas The Greatest Showman is a lot of pop. There's some slow songs and stuff, but it's still very like pop ballads.
Yeah. I also just the cast was interesting. I didn't hate the cast. I just don't think Hugh Jackman can sing.
Shout out to Keala Settle. She's from Waianae in Hawaii. You doing it big, girl.
Yeah, she's really good. She's
We're all
fabulous.
proud of you.
Actually, one of the only people that could sing in that cast.
Yeah. Even if you don't care, we're so proud of you.
Yeah. But Greatest Showman was meh.
It was okay. It was a huge hit. A lot of people loved it, which
Yeah.
is I think is great for the musical industry, because I feel like it encouraged people to be more brave with coming out with musicals, because musicals can be a very scary area to delve into, because it's harder to do a story when there's music involved, because you can't just throw music into it. You have to incorporate it in a way that it works with the story or the vision that you're trying to portray.
It's also, I don't know, there's good things about having a mainstream musical, I'm saying with quotes, like that. But also it's bad because when people only have reference to, you know, The Greatest Showman or High School Musical or like any of those other like musicals made for movies, stuff like that, like then when they actually get into the musical world, they're expecting that, but that's not what it is. Like they're like an example is like a lady watches like The Greatest Showman, like, oh my god, I love musicals now, I'm gonna go to New York and I'm gonna watch the Falsettos, and they go to watch Falsettos and they're like, I freaking hated that, like why was it like that, like it's a lot.
Musicals, I mean, a criticism that I've heard for Broadway musicals is that it's a lot, but you have to remember it's theatrical.
Yeah.
They value theatricality over everything. It's literally called drama for a reason. It's supposed to be a lot.
It's theater.
Yeah, it's not necessarily the same. You can't achieve the same thing that you can achieve if you have heavy editing
exactly.
and sound design and alterations and
like
After Effects.
Yeah, sometimes I think that people forget that people on Broadway singing their songs, they're doing it live, and they can't recreate it the same every single time.
Yeah,
like
it takes a lot of stamina.
It takes a lot. Oh my gosh, like some people. Now we're talking about musicals and like Broadway, but sometimes, yes, every single show has 8 shows a week, but they may not necessarily have one show every day. Sometimes, you know, you need to have like at least 2 days off. Like that's like the workforce like standard. So sometimes people in musicals like Dear Evan Hansen or Mean Girls, they have 3 show days.
Yeah.
So they have like a show at like 9 in the morning, one at like 1 or 3 p.m. and then one at like 8 p.m. Like it's crazy.
You would have to do that one before holiday. Like you would have to have that and then a day off, and then you could go back to maybe a 1 or 2 show day, and then a few of those, and then another day off, and then you would have to do a 3 show day.
I can't imagine anybody like Once on This Island, one of the characters has to belt a lot, and if he/she has to do that every day, like three times a day, they could get nodes or
definitely.
like just anything like that.
If your technique is even a little off.
Yeah.
I think it's also interesting. Oh, this is something that I find interesting about music in general nowadays is people touring, because a lot of the times tours are a lot less performance based now. I feel like they're less. It's a lot of people go to the tour to hear the music, which is fantastic, but they don't have to worry about doing as much on stage as they normally do. Yeah, they have like a lot of spray stuff, but there's not as many like dance numbers and stuff. Beyonce is the only one I know that has
Ariana
like
Grande
very,
has
very
like
heavy dance numbers.
Ariana Grande, she's some numbers. She has like a heavy dance like behind her.
That's good.
Singers can't necessarily do all those dances while they're singing, and if they don't sound like they're quivering, then you know that they're lip singing. Yeah. Because there's no way in
the thing is, a lot of singers lip sync now. Or at least sing with a backtrack, which is very interesting to me too, because I feel like that was something that might have been frowned upon in the past.
I have mixed feelings about it. Like, I want to go and see a good show, obviously, if you're going to a concert.
Yeah, I think it's good that they're doing that because they want you to have a good experience there. They don't want to...
I also want to hear them sing live. Like, that's why I'm going to a concert.
I think that's why some of them do acoustic songs, so that they will have, like, brief moments that you can only get if you go to the concert.
Yeah, like when Brendan Urie sings This Is Gospel on the piano. Like, that's good.
Yeah. But I do think it's very interesting on, like, being able to see the shift between the way that concerts are performed now speaking of concerts, this kind of is a branch off of that. I think it's very cool. This is a different topic for another time, but I think it's very cool that people can do tours and things now that aren't just comedy and music.
Yeah, like
live
they
shows.
Yeah.
That's very interesting to me.
I know some
think that's
podcasts that go on
fantastic.
tour.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Mhm. A lot of people go on tour. Book tours, that's a thing. Like,
Yeah.
a lot of people go on tour now because of social media, and I think that's great. Also, not regarding music. But
Yeah, but still, that's cool. Topics for a different time, but I think it's very interesting to see how tours, which started out as a musical thing, as far as I know,
yeah, I feel
were
like
able
they
to
were
expand
only
to
like music.
a bunch of different activities.
Yeah.
It's cool.
And with that,
What do you think about the future of music? Where do you think it's headed?
fuck, dude. I don't know. I'm not breathing. I can't gaze into the future.
I don't know. I think it's very interesting because you see a large shift in, I guess, the popularity of one genre over another, except in our generation, well, not necessarily in our generation, but rap is one thing that has risen and hasn't fallen. It got really big through like the late 80s and 90s, and it's kind of stayed at this level, this untouchable level of popularity.
Yeah.
Whereas things like rock has come in and out.
I also feel like
pop has come in and out.
EDM, like music with EDM, like Cruella and like, you know,
Zed. I don't know.
Just pulling
I don't know
out.
a whole lot of EDM.
I'm
Well, it would be like
them out of my
it'd be
ass.
like Marshmello and Millennium.
Yeah,
and
like that's coming into style. It's been in style for a few years, and a lot of artists I've noticed are really doing like dance style music when they sing.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. That's something that's really cool about music too. Is music influences itself.
yes.
It inspires itself. So artists are able to use things from different genres of music to enhance their own genre of music, which is really cool. I don't know, as far as the future of music, I feel like it'll just turn into, we'll just revert back to Gregorian chants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on, us Hawaiians.
We're
We're not even Hawaiian. Us people from Hawaii, we already hear all that.
We'll use a single sousaphone and have 3 people singing in sharp harmonies to that live for an audience of only less than 10 people at a time. But there will be so many of them that everyone will get to do that.
Yeah.
But no, what I think is like a lot of futuristic movies have holographic concerts and stuff, and we're already kind of delving into that
Hatsune
with the
Miku.
Tupac Shakur concert.
Yeah.
Oh, Hatsune Miku.
Hatsune Miku is like holographic, yeah.
Oh, cool. Well, they do that too. I think. Oh, what are they? The Gorillas also do that.
Do they
I'm
really?
pretty sure. Yeah.
Oh.
And so that's really interesting. And then I think it'll be interesting to have that in a radio setting, whereas it's a very personalized experience, and you can like buy your own. It's basically a hit clip. I don't know if anybody remembers hit clips, but there were 60
Oh my
second,
god, yes!
like small 60-second clips of songs that you could get. They were really small. They were about the size of a DS cartridge. Nintendo DS cartridge.
The best thing I've ever
Yeah, they had no memory on them, and so you could only have 60 seconds. I had to Hit Me Baby One More Time by Britney Spears.
Same.
And it didn't even start at the beginning. It started like...
in the middle.
Yeah, it started from the first chorus and went to the bridge, and then it ended. But I think we'll have stuff like that, only holographic concerts that you can play in your house. But then, at the same time, that'll kind of eliminate the need for tours. People will have to constantly be adapting new attractions for tours.
Yeah, it's really just a give and take. So.
It is. Music is ever evolving, and it's very interesting.
And that is to conclude our first episode of Insert Podcast here, which we'll have a name soon enough.
Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. I think there's not much else we can say about music.
Yeah.
It's a vast topic, and we are but small specks.
Branches out into other topics that we could talk about.
Yeah,
and
which is very
we will
cool.
cover all of those topics.
All of them.
All of them.
Even if it takes years.
10 years. All right. Thanks for listening.
Yeah, see you later. I wish we got sponsored, but we didn't because we're poor and we live in Hawaii and nobody wants us.
And also, it's super hot. It's gonna melt everything.
Yeah,
if they
can we get
sponsor
sponsored
us.
by, like, whatever?
Air conditioning, like Mitsubishi. Can you, like, sponsor us for fucking AC?
Mitsubishi has ACs?
Yeah.
I was thinking of, like, the one that starts with a K, like Kirkman or whatever it's called.
Kirkman?
Yeah, I think there's an air conditioner called Kirkman.
Kirkman?
Or
Kirkland?
No, that's the
Costco.
Costco brand. Anyways, sorry.
Alright. We will see you next time
Yeah.
on Insert
I hope
Podcast.
you enjoyed it. Bye.
Goodbye.